And the new moon, this one, is all about really pulling us back in to be really introspective in what is going on. Now, that means in lots of ways slowing down, and it means being able to have the time to make sure we feel into things before we do things. Now, as most of you know, I have had surgery because I shattered my kneecap, and my moving forward is definitely the ant story where I've got the baldy in front of me and I'm not moving forward the way I wanted. It's merging those two together to be able to sit in that space and then look at what is it that I've got on my plate and where am I going and what am I doing? So I think my little message this week from all of that is to take some time or to make some time to be able to just sit in your moment. Hi guys, I am Mel from Mel Ryan 100% You, all about learning how to love and support ourselves better. This week in our weekly update, there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. The first one, we had a new moon on the 18th, and the new moon, this one, is all about really pulling us back in to be really introspective in what is going on. And I think that's quite interesting where the world is where it is right now. And it's not just from the world perspective, but it's also our life in our own lives. Now, that means in lots of ways slowing down, and it means being able to have the time to make sure we feel into things before we do things. That's pretty difficult when people are knee deep in work and kids and life and everything that life has to smother us with. So we lose our connection really to ourselves. So it's trying to find those little ways that we can pause the game, I suppose you would say, to be able to reconnect with you to go, let me feel into that. Does that feel right? What can I do that brings me back? And a lot of it is knowing how to support ourselves or adjust even in the moment as things come in. I had a couple of people this week that I've spoken to about their kids and things that have been going on. And one of the things, one of the analogies that came up was go outside, and this is exercise I do with, tell parents to do with kids. Go outside and find an ant that is going along in its business of just trying to get food back to its little nest. In watching the ant, after you watch it for a couple of times, then you start to put things in front of it. So you might put a little stone, or you might put a drop of water, or you might, put a line or something that is going to make the ant not be able to go that way. And you just watch how quickly the ant sorts itself out and then adjusts. And it goes round and it adjusts and it adjusts. And it's such a beautiful analogy that we can use with kids. But of course, we do this because it resonates so much with ourselves. It's like describing to them, hey, how many times do you have to be like an ant today? Because it normalizes adjusting. We hate change and we get absolutely thrown off when something big happens or even tiny little things, and it pauses our flow. And when it pauses our flow, our ability to adjust, often we freeze and we get overwhelmed and we shut down. And so when we use the analogy like be like an ant, it means that we can just be able to reassess and then support ourselves in what we need and keep going forward in that self-supported way. So that's a cute little analogy that I came up with this week. The other one that I use with kids a lot is if you are a superhero, so we design the superhero suits, but if you had a superhero suit, you obviously have a superhero power. So what would your superhero power be? Now, for me at the moment, which is really interesting, I did check that in, and it would be to have clarity in knowing what I'm doing moving forward. Now, as most of you know, I have had surgery because I shattered my kneecap, and my moving forward is definitely the ant story where I've got the baldy in front of me and I'm not moving forward the way I wanted. At the same time that when this happened, I was meant to be running a retreat for a beautiful bunch of people that we were going to help them know how to support themselves in their life better. And so the interesting part of that is I am on retreat because I've been paused in everything that I was doing, and the business of my life in that way is paused. And so reflecting on that is quite ironic and clever. I think the universe is so clever at times. And so in that retreat for me, and it's my superhero wish of the clarity of knowing what I would be doing moving forward, it's merging those two together to be able to sit in that space and then look at what is it that I've got on my plate and where am I going and what am I doing? And then have that real honest feel into it for me. Does it feel right? Is this the path? Am I just making myself busy doing stuff? Or is this pulling me? Is my soul pulling me into the direction that I want it to go and it feels right for me? So I think my little message this week from all of that is to take some time or to make some time to be able to just sit in your moment, to feel the pull, to slow down the busyness, and to then find the things that are your little boulders to know how can I adjust myself where I'm supported moving forward without the overwhelm. So it's coming back to the knowing. The knowingness is the key in directing us moving forward, especially when the world is going through what it's going through right now. And the knowingness can bring us that peace back and that clarity, which is what was delivered to us with this new moon, is that real introspective cycle to be able to look in to make sure that where we are is okay with us. So that's my little message this week. So have a great week. Remember that there's workshops available for you guys if you need to have that more support to understand yourself a little bit better. And I will catch you all next week.